Hi everybody and welcome back to Edmonton Aviation, and today I have a bit of a different airport update for you all. Instead of a US airport update for the month of January, I'm going to do a Reykjavik Keflavik airport update, which is an airport in Iceland, and Iceland's biggest and busiest airports. So let's get right into it. Unfortunately, I only have one Icelandair model, which is 737 MAX 8, but other than that I have a lot of nice international wide bodies that's in this airport, so let's get started right over here at the wide body gate, making its debut at my model airport. We have the beautiful Air Canada 777-200 LR in the Vancouver 2010 Olympics livery, which just arrived in from Toronto Pearson, is about to be heading back out there. Getting some fuel and catering loaded on before a flight out to Chicago O'Hare is this United Airbus A321neo. And right here, just arrived in from Washington Dulles and deboarding before a flight back out there is this United 757-200. And over here we have my one and only Icelandair Model D, which is the Icelandair 737 MAX 8, which just arrived in from Boston, is now going to be heading out to Nuuk, Greenland. Over here we have an Air Transat Airbus A321neo, which is heading out to Montreal Trudeau today after arriving in from there. And that is a seasonal route in the summer, which is starting in June, but I put this aircraft in so when it could finally make its debut after I got it in August. There's not been an airport update yet. And the United routes and the Air Canada routes and the Delta routes, they're all seasonal, and so are the Air Canada ones and the WestJet ones. So most of the routes I have on here are seasonal. Over here we have another seasonal flight, which is the WestJet 737 MAX 8, getting some cargo loaded on after a flight in from Calgary, and is now going to be heading back out there in about an hour or two. WestJet is starting 2 new flights out of Reykjavik, which is to Edmonton and Winnipeg in June, so we can look forward to that. Pushing back for a flight out to Detroit after arriving in from New York JFK is this Delta 757-200. Over here is holding shorter runways of British Airways 777-200 LR, which it just arrived in from London Heathrow and it's about to be heading back out there. British Airways actually uses A319 aircraft for this route, but this is the only British Airways aircraft I have, so I'm using this one instead. And taxiing right here, which is an Air Canada A330-300, heading out to Montreal Trudeau after arriving in from there. And finally, just touched down after a long flight in from Minneapolis, St. Paul's, this Delta A350-1000. And anyways, that's it for this airport update. I'll see you guys in the next video.